Hi there. Welcome to the Sustainable Development and Ethical Practices within the Colombian Industry panel. My name is Sarah Haas, and I'm the Marketing Director for Outdoor Retailer. And we are really excited to partner with ProColombia for this session today. And I think you guys are really going to like the panelists. We've got a strong female-led panel today. First, we have Kara Chacon. Kara is the VP of Social and Environmental Responsibility at Patagonia. She leads a global team of professionals that sets strategy and implements Patagonia's human rights and environmental sustainability initiatives. Kara is also the co-chair of Patagonia's Footprint Council, a group of executives that make corporate-wide sustainability decisions. Kara also sits on Textile Exchanges and Organic Cotton Accelerator's board of directors, and was on the Fair Labor Association Board of Directors from 2012 to 2016. So welcome, Kara. Next, we have Adriana Duque, and with over 30 years experience in the garment manufacturing industry for exports in Colombia, Adriana is the business unit director at Supertex Group. She leads a group of people dedicated to international brands, focusing on material sourcing, garment development, planning, and much more. She drives the team in defining the best service and highest quality of standards and products that Supertex manufactures. Last but not least, we've got Julianna Villegas. Julianna is the Exports Vice President for ProColombia. Before this position, she was appointed Director of Commercial Office of Peru, and that was a position she held for 4 years. And then in 2015, she was appointed Manufacturing and Supplies Export Manager at ProColombia headquarters in Bogota, a position that she held for more than a year after being promoted to VP of Exports. Thank you all for being part of this, and I'm going to pass the mic to Juliana.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Welcome, everybody. Good morning to all of you, and thanks to all of these people interested in this very important conversation we're going to have today. Adriana, hello. It's great seeing you. Hello also to Kara Chacon. Thank you so much for being here. And also to ProColombia's team. Thank you so much for letting this happen. So I'm going to start because we don't have as much time as we would like to have, because this is a very important topic. And let's start with this panel, with this important conversation. Welcome everybody again. And thank you so much to the outdoor community, to outdoor retail, to this, this is like a club of people that make sustainability a priority. So thank you so much. Paragonia, thank you very much for trusting Colombia as a supplier. Thank you so much, Supertex, for working as a team and collaborating as well with ProColombia inside Colombia and abroad. So welcome everybody, and let's start with the first question to Kara. I would like to ask Juan to help us with the presentation. So let us know if you're seeing the slides or if you have any problems with that, just let us know. So let's start, Juan, please, with the presentation as well. And Kara, I would like to start asking you, which are the key aspects that caught Patagonia's eye on Colombia? So in other words, why Colombia for Patagonia?
Yes. Well, hello, everyone, to start. And there were several key reasons. And I'll start out with the business perspective first, because that's definitely one of the 4 things we look at. We look at business, we look at quality, and social and environmental responsibility. And from the business perspective, this region offers steady labor rates, short lead times, and duty-free savings. And that's all very, very important aspects that we look for. And in this particular case study between Supertex and Patagonia that we're talking about today, what's also very important to us is the level of collaboration and involvement that we get from Supertex, from the executives, the management, the staff. It has been nothing but stellar, and it's something that's something we can only say about a very few factories that we use, that we collaborate with. And Eduardo, Adriana, they care so much about the workers, and we ask a lot of our business partners, and they are always willing to help us out. So they've been very supportive partners. And from a social and environmental responsibility perspective, every time we source at a new factory, there is a rigorous audit and process that you have to go through. And, Supertext in this case study that we're talking about has, been one of our highest performing suppliers in all areas. And we're also a member of the Fair Labor Association, and they monitor Patagonia's efforts. They audit our corporate responsibility program to ensure we're walking the talk and respecting human rights in our factories around the world, and including in Colombia. So it makes our audits more difficult. And so we feel like we have this world-class supply chain, and Supertext is just been wonderful.
Thank you so much, Cara, for letting us know that social corporate responsibility is part of our production in Colombia, and that's a priority as well for our companies. So let me continue with this conversation, asking Adriana a very important question here. And more than a question, I would like maybe a description from her. And we're going to go through this presentation with our next slide. And let's ask Adriana to describe your experience working with an iconic brand like Patagonia. What does this represent for your team? What does that mean? And can you maybe focus on sustainability programs you have in Supertext, and how you can talk to us about social responsibility programs you have developed in your company in Colombia? Thank you so much, Adriana. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to participate in this panel. I want to thank Cara for being with us here and for her words about Colombia and Supertext. Well, for us, the first feeling is pride. We feel very proud to be working with a company like Patagonia for over 15 years now. They are a fantastic group of people, and we like to collaborate with them in their initiatives in sustainability and good practices. They're a leader in the industry, and that makes Supertext part of this leadership. Through the years, we have started up different topics. So let me walk you through our history together a little bit so you understand. When we first started with Patagonia 15 years ago, we were all a cotton saw only factory. We would receive all the raw materials from Patagonia in a container. We would cut, sew, and ship back by air to the Reno facility. A couple years after we were doing that, we suggested Patagonia we would like to go full package and offer them DDP terms to allow us to put the merchandise in the Reno facility. At the beginning, they were not so sure they wanted to go through this. No other company in the hemisphere was doing full package for them. But it turned out to be a very, very good exercise. We were then buying all the raw materials directly from their vendors, wherever they were, and shipping containerfuls via ocean directly to the Reno facility. The first time we started cutting and sewing for Patagonia, we learned that their materials were made, especially the fabric was made partly with recycled yarn. This made us very nervous at the beginning. We weren't sure what we were going to face, if we were going to have difficulties in the handling or in the quality of the fabric. But we were very, very surprised to see that the fabrics we were getting from Polartec with recycled material were as good as virgin poly, no quality issues. And by the way, just a little bit of propaganda for Supertex. We rank #1 or #2 for quality for Patagonia worldwide. So it's amazing to work with a company that is constantly innovating. So season after season, we have seen how they incorporate more and more recycled materials into their product. We started with fabric in a small percentage, now 100% recycled material in the fabric. We also have recycled zippers, recycled labels, hand tags, and now polybags are also made from recycled material. Also, we have been working together in finding source of raw materials closer to the factories. So this helps our footprint and also our lead times, and gives us better efficiency in the money we spend in logistics. After a few years doing the full package to the Reno facility, distribution center, we offer them to go direct shipping. And with the qualifications we had in quality, we did the pilot to go direct shipping. So now we ship directly to all their distribution centers across Europe, Japan, Australia, Chile, and all the countries they have distribution centers at. Well, I think all these initiatives make the Patagonia product a very special one and keeps their buyers so loyal to the brand. Now, this has also impacted our own teams, and all the learnings that we have had through the years from Patagonia in sustainability have made our teams very aware of the importance of keeping our planet safe. And this is a message that goes not only to our team in our factories, but also they take it home with them and beyond. It goes through the whole community. We have also been pilot initiatives for a couple of years back. We did a pilot initiative to use sonic welding in some of the seams they were doing. And this helped in some of the styles. This helped reduce the yields in the garments, thus reducing the use of material, and also help reduce the waste that we had of fabric when doing this type of seams. Well, with their guidance, we have achieved great improvements within our company. And because of our interest and performance in social compliance, we were the first factory to be certified, the first apparel manufacturer to be certified fair trade in the hemisphere. And I know Cara will probably want to talk a little bit further in this subject, so I'll leave it to her. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adriana, for sharing that with us. It's amazing how innovation, gender, communities, pride are part of this conversation around sustainability. So thank you so much, because as Colombians, we also feel very, very proud that consumers have the chance to get access to this kind of products. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, going back to Cara, in terms of sustainable development and ethical practices with this audience connected here, Cara, how would this audience see Colombia as a great option in this region? How can you tell them that Colombia is a great supplier?
Yes. Our experience in Colombia with Supertext for social and environmental responsibility has been not just positive, and I'm going to mirror what Adriana just said, but it's leading in Colombia and in Latin America in general, because Supertext has allowed their Colombia factories to become the first fair trade certified factories in the country and in the region. That is a huge feat and accomplishment, and it is no simple task. It involves all of management being on board. It involves the factory workers directly. So let me explain a little bit about what is the Fair Trade Certified Program and why is it so important to Patagonia. So Fair Trade USA is our NGO partner, our nonprofit partner, that goes to our factories and works with them to become fair trade certified. So you have to pass a rigorous audit. There is trainings involved, and it's a lot of work. And of course, Supertext was perfect to take this on because they were already amazing performers in social and environmental responsibility, quality, and business, as Adriana mentioned. Being a leading factory for Patagonia, it was just a perfect fit for them. And we got into fair trade because we really wanted to show our support to the wonderful people making our products in all of our factories around the globe. And we wanted to dig in on the issue of wages, and it's our first step towards getting to a living wage in our factories. And so Fair Trade USA goes into the factories, they do the audits, they prepare the factory and the workers and do trainings. And Patagonia, for every unit that the factory makes, so every garment the factory makes for us, we pay a premium on top of what we normally pay the factory. But interestingly, that money goes directly to a bank account that the workers control. So a fair trade committee is democratically elected by the workers themselves. And that fair trade committee works with all of the factory workers and does a needs assessment on what community project do we want to use this money for in this bank account. And how often do we want to do a disbursement? And this money can be used in many ways. It can be used as a cash distribution, which is direct money in their pocket. It can be towards, scholarships for their kids for school or school supplies. It can be used in food baskets for healthy foods. It can be all sorts of things. And the beauty of this is it's up to the workers to decide what is best for their factory community. And so this program is amazing because the Fair Trade Committee elects people, and it depends on what the factory decides. It could be yearly, it could be every 2 years. But these workers are learning leadership skills, financial literacy. They're making big decisions with quite a bit of, a pot of money. And it's been very empowering, especially for women. And I'm going to tell you a little story in a bit about our experience down there when we were helping to distribute one of the premium projects. And we love this program so much because it shows so much support to the people making our products. Some of the premium projects at Supertext, for example, have been purchasing bicycles for workers that could be used for commuting, recreation and exercise as well. A bike seems like a simple, thing, but it's not. It can really change a life, especially if you don't have a car to commute to work. So it can be really life-changing. Also another premium project, they purchased grocery kits and cleaning products and other household items. Another one, they purchased televisions for workers that couldn't afford it. Most recently, the premium projects were used to purchase food baskets for workers in response to the COVID pandemic. And it's been a challenging time for everyone. And certainly factories have been hit hard, and workers in those factories have been hit hard. So we're really very happy that Fair Trade is able to support the workers in this time right now. And I wanted to tell a little story. The Superchecks became Fair Trade certified in 2016. And one of the first premium distributions, Wendy Savage, our Director of Social Responsibility and Traceability, flew down there to, be in the celebration of the first distribution, and also, lend support to the program, and also learn about the experiences of the workers and the Supertech staff on how the program is going. And she and I remember when she went down there, and it was such a wonderful experience for her. And I want to tell you her story in her words. And so I'm going to read it. I apologize that I'm reading, but I really want you to feel, her emotion here. And she's such a wonderful person, and we're just so proud of this program. So I'm just going to read it to you really quickly here. The question I posed to her: what were the workers' reactions, and any comments that you can recall that were significant? And this was several years ago, so I had her write this down for me. She said the level of gratitude was immense, and she said she can't describe how it feels to look at the faces of thousands of workers and see their smiles, and know that she was part of the team that made that happen, thanks to Supertext and Patagonia. And I want to say on a side note that Wendy and I have been doing this job for decades. And, we have been in thousands of factories, she and I, over our career. And she and I worked together in other jobs before Patagonia. And we absolutely think this fair trade program is the most powerful that we've ever seen, because it's not just auditing a factory and addressing those types of issues of compliance, but it goes beyond that and solves community issues. She said that the most impactful comments that she remembers were from the Worker Fair Trade Committee. So you remember, this is the committee that democratically is elected by all the workers in the factory. And one woman expressed her pride in the opportunity to represent her peers in this important program. She empathized with factory management because representing the needs of so many workers was very difficult. There was just a lot of opinions and different ideas on how to spend the money, and to corral that was, it's definitely a leadership task, and she learned a lot from it. She received training from Fair Trade, and she ran the needs assessment survey and collaborated with her coworkers. She was in disbelief that she was elected and trusted by her peers and management on this important role. It was a very big moment for her. She said that she never thought she could lead. And now, because she had been able to do that herself and prove that to herself, she has hopes that her daughter can become a leader someday. And she said it with tears in her eyes to Wendy, that she was so proud that her daughter got to see her playing this important role. And it's just a big moment. And, you can see the hidden dividends that the Fair Trade program is giving. It is giving leadership skills and pride and skills that, women especially need all over the world. And giving them that experience has been very life-changing for them. And this is just one example of some of many other fair trade feedback that we're getting around the world. But this one we were especially proud of, and it was amazing that Wendy was there. And I'll tell you one more quick story. Another man in the committee mentioned that he was so proud of representing his peers, and that now that he's done this work and he understands how important it is, he wants all other workers to have the opportunity to be a part of the worker committee and know how it feels to make big financial decisions that he never thought he would be making in his lifetime. And so it's just been a very powerful program. And the last bit I wanted to say is that the Supertext team was amazing. This is definitely a lot of work, you guys. And of course, now once you get it going, it runs a lot smoother. But I can't thank Eduardo and Adriana and Diana and everyone that was involved enough for making this happen for us, and for just giving the workers this opportunity to do something that is so different in corporate responsibility in the supply chain. And the cool note I wanted to end on is that the workers at Supertext sent Yvonne Chenard, the founder and owner of Patagonia, a thank you note. And they all wrote, little comments to him, and we translated them from Spanish to English for him. And he was so touched. Wendy presented it to him. He read every one of them. It was just such a moment. And I will say that our executives, the founders and owners of Patagonia, the Chenards, are so supportive of this program. And it's been so powerful. It's here to stay. And, we're just going to continue it on. And I just want to thank Supertext so much for that.
Thank you.
Wow, Cara, thank you so much. That was really moving. Thanks for sharing that example. I think it's great for all of us that we learn that it's possible, that you can change, that you can make such a big change in one community or one person at a time. So thank you so much. That's amazing. And really, I want to congratulate Supertext for also working really hard on that, because it's not easy at all. And thank you, Patagonia, for believing in Colombia and for making part of this amazing project and all this social impact you're having on this community. So thank you so much. That was a great example and a great story. I really enjoyed it. So for maybe I would like to sum up a little bit with this amazing story, with everything that Adriana has shared with us. Just tell me, Cara, 3 things that you couldn't find anywhere else that you found in Colombia. And that's why Colombia is such a big partner to Patagonia at the moment. 3 things that nowhere else could be found. And which are those, please, Cara?
Yes. Well, it starts with, we call it the 4-fold process. And what that means is Patagonia assesses, potential new suppliers for business reasons, for quality, for social and environmental responsibility. So I mentioned that in the beginning. And so I would say if I had to pick 3 things, one is it is really difficult to find the skilled labor and the technical expertise, especially in outdoor clothing. There is a technical expertise needed, especially for outerwear that Supertext does for us. They do our fleeces and capeline. And so number 1 is, we want to diversify our supply chain outside of Asia. We want to be in the Western Hemisphere. We actually want to grow that as well. And so we found in Supertext an excellent partner for the expertise and the high quality. We have what's called for our customers an ironclad guarantee. So if your product breaks, rips, we will take it back and we'll fix it or we'll replace it. And that's very costly to us. So we take quality and expertise and skilled labor very, very seriously. And, and that flows right into social and environmental responsibility. We have found over decades of doing this, right? Patagonia's been around since the early 70s. And we have found that a factory that has technical expertise, skilled labor, actually is much more sophisticated in social and environmental responsibility. So the second thing I would say is you have to have management that believes in those values and puts their money where their mouth is and invests in their workers and invests in environmental responsibility. And so that is evident when we go in and we assess our suppliers, and Supertext is definitely there. And then, on the environmental side, we want, we're an environmental company. That is like our banner cause, our mission statement is we're in business to save the home planet. I mean, that is not a small mission statement, right? It's pretty heavy. And we live it and breathe it every day. And supply chain is where our greatest environmental footprint is. And we are starting to ask our suppliers to work on reducing their carbon footprint. And we're in more with our raw material suppliers right now, our textile manufacturers, because that's where most of the carbon emissions are. And our finished goods factories are lower emitters of carbon. But the Supertex team is already working on that for us. So I would add the environmental piece is very important. They're working on using fabric scraps and making sure those don't go to a landfill and are reused and upcycled. So they're doing some wonderful things on the environmental side. So those would be the three things I would choose.
Thank you so much, Cara. Those three things are very, very important to us, and I'm sure to Supertex as well. Thank you very much for sharing that. So I would like to now ask Adriana about these high quality products and how sustainability and social responsibility are part of those products, because that's like a very important positive footprint you have in every garment that any consumer can buy. So Adriana, please, can you share with us how sustainability and social responsibility applied in Supertex, and how these high quality products have sustainability and this kind of ingredients in part of the making of the manufacturing?
Well, like Cara has mentioned, we try to be at the top of the industry standards. We are certified in social compliance by all our main clients, not only Patagonia, but all the brands we work for. And this is validated every year through very stringent audits that we have to go through, like the one we did for the certification of fair trade. We, in this in these audits, I mean, we certified our factory qualifies for all the workplace is healthy and it's safe. We have, by law in Colombia, for example, all employment, it's voluntary. So we have to follow also our Colombian laws, which are very strict in this sense. We have to make sure working hours are not excessive. Our compensation is timely paid. We really care for our workers. We treat them well. We make sure they're well treated and well compensated. There is no tolerance for harassment or abuse in our factories. There is freedom of association and collective bargaining, and this is respected. There is no discrimination whatsoever. And of course, that's fair trade certification. It's a very important part of all these initiatives that we have internally. Now, we, through all the learnings and taken by the hand with Patagonia, we have made a lot of strategies to minimize the impact on the environment. We have some plastic-free initiatives in place where we are no longer using one-time use plastics, but we use all reusable plastics in all our production floors. We have a paper-free office, and we also have a metal-free standard in place where we have metal detectors to go, all our garments go through metal detectors to make sure there's no metal parts in them. Now we have an initiative to use the fabric scraps into low complexity garments, very, very simple garments that are made by our training school girls and boys. There are boys also. And then these garments are donated to nonprofit organizations. We also have an initiative on lighting automation in our productive areas. if you see, I don't know if one of our slides shows our plant, our factory, we have a lot of daylight coming in. We have set some lighting system that allows us to turn the lights off when the daylight is enough to work on the production floor. So we have a lot of savings using natural light. We also have a recycling program from the source. You know, Patagonia was the first client who once asked us what we did with the scraps and with all the plastic and the paper that we had left over. This was the first brand who ever asked this. And then we were interested in finding out what people did. You know, we always gave them to foundations and nonprofit organizations, but we never really went beyond to see what they did with those scraps. So we found out they are used for stuffing mattresses and pillows and little stuffed animals that they make and they sell. And also the plastic is recycled and turned back into pellets to do recycled polybags. And also the paper is recycled to make recycled paper. We also have a water efficiency control program in place. And most of these initiatives have come from Kaizen initiative programs that we have in the factory, where these ideas in sustainability come from the employees themselves. They team up and they prepare, they come up with their ideas, they present them to management, and we train them to present them to management. And then they get rewards for all the implementation, for all the ideas that get implemented. Now we have in project to set up the photovoltaic or solar system energy that will generate probably 60% of the energy to run our facility, both in Colombia and El Salvador. And now our latest project that it's due to be put in place in 2021, it's digitalization with LT Labs for paper use reduction, further reduction. We have done a lot with the initiatives of the people. We have done a lot of reduction in paper use. Printing, has been reduced to minimum. But now with this digitalization program, we will have further reduction in paper use in our factories. So these are some of the initiatives that we have at Supertex.
Adriana, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We see you have a very sophisticated process. You don't improvise when it comes to environment, sustainability, and all these considerations with the community. So that's amazing. Congratulations, really, to Supertex for those efforts and for learning really quickly from a very demanding partner. I wouldn't say only client, but that's a very important partner you have there as a team player, which is Paragonia. So that's really amazing and inspiring. Really, thank you so much for that. So we can move on now with this, with the conversation. Adriana, if you agree.
Sure, please do.
Okay, go on, Adriana, please.
Okay, I don't know if we have this. I can't see if we have the slides on. Do we? The slides on Supertex?
Yes, yeah, we've been sharing the presentation. Juan Jose has been helping us with that, so everybody could see all that information. Yeah, that was
all
great.
Right, so maybe I can move on with some of our just talking a little bit more about Supertex and its capacity and capabilities a little bit, just to share with the audience. We have 2 factories in Colombia and 2 factories in El Salvador, where we have automatic spreading and automatic cutting. We have our sewing. It's mainly focused on athletic wear and sportswear, but we also make fleece jackets and swimwear for Patagonia and other brands. We have big capacity in flat lock and zigzag. We have piece bonding and seam sealing and sonic welding capabilities as well in our sewing floors. We have, in every country, we have a plant for embellishment. So it's all in one floor. We have screen printing, sublimation. We have digital and offset printing. We have embroidery capabilities. We have a great capacity in heat transfer, pad printing, and embossing as well. We do development for all the brands that we work with. We have 3D development capabilities, laser cutting, and direct printing to fabric in nylon and poly. In El Salvador, we have about 2,600 workers in our factory, Chalchuapa, in El Salvador. And we have about 800,000 units capacity a month. In Cali, we have 1,400, more or less, workers with 350,000 units capacity a month. We have a second facility in El Salvador called Lourdes, where we have about 920 workers, and they produce 300,000 units a month. And then our last but not least, Supertex Eje Cafetero in the coffee region of Colombia, beautiful landscaping. We have 480 workers, and we can produce 200,000 units in that facility. And all our facilities are fair trade certified. Okay, and then
that's great, Adriana. Thank you so much for going deep into what Supertex has to offer. That's great, and I'm sure we have now more than 300 people listening to great news for Colombia and all these reasons that Cara shared with us. And I would like to also invite all these people to come to Colombia wearing these garments, because we have amazing landscapes and all this adventure that your buyers have, Cara. I'm sure that they can really enjoy Colombia wearing that kind of product. So I would like to continue, if you agree, Cara and Adriana, talking a little bit more about why Colombia. I would like to complement that very important information you shared with us today. So let me talk a little bit about Colombia, as a country, as an exporting platform. So let me confirm if one is okay with the slides. Yes, we're doing great. Thank you so much for your help. So let's talk a little bit about how we have a very dynamic and stable economic system. We have at the moment the 4th largest economy in Latin America, and its GDP is the fastest growing in the region. So we have at the moment a very good doing business ranking that's very important for international buyers and also for the Colombian exporters at the moment. Colombia is a trading platform. We have now 17 trade agreements in place that allows investors and preferential access to third markets. That's also great news, and Cara was talking a little bit about that. When you could access the US market, for example, with no tariffs paid by our Colombian companies. That's a 0% duty in these more than 60 markets we have at the moment. In the third place, we have a growing group of qualified Colombian companies that are able to partner with international organizations and investors to reach regional markets. That's very important. You know, when you're trying to bring all these production and companies to this side of the world, Colombia is the best place to be. There's no doubt of that. And we have more than 1,200 companies from the Colombian fashion industry last year exporting products to 107 destinations. That's also something I would like to share with you. And we also have a growing market which is strategically located to facilitate transactions and business in the region. Colombia has access to the Pacific and to the Atlantic Oceans, and we are a member of the Pacific Alliance, which is a regional integration initiative which seeks to overcome international economic challenges and also take advantage of these 0% duty destinations. We also have multiple development centers and regions with a growing middle class, ensuring an optimal demand for products and services. I think Supertex is a great example of that. You're located in a city which is not the main city of Colombia. It's not our capital city, but of course it's very important in this sector. And we have also different investment opportunities in a wide variety of sectors. We have more than 80% of the investment projects that reaches Latin America and the Caribbean concentrated in retail. That's good news for this sector, I think. But the investment amounts and the jobs generated are greater in investments that are in the manufacturing sector. That's good news as well for job creation. We are an excellent export platform. I would like to come back to that because we can take advantage of the location of the industrial capacity that Supertex also described earlier. And these agreements, we also have to take advantage of them. And we have amazing strategic alliances. We are a very active partner with foreign direct investors and also with international buyers. So let me also share something about the Colombian fashion industry and the main characteristics for being competitive. First of all, we have tradition and impact on the economy. Let me tell you that we have more than 100 years of tradition in this industry, in fashion, of course. We have the support of an extensive network of private and public allies. This is an industry that represents more than 9% of the industrial GDP in Colombia at the moment. And we have more than 600,000 direct jobs related to the industry. We also have diversity in what we have to offer. We are constantly developing new products, as Adriana was sharing with us. That's a great example, Supertex. And the companies that are part of the fashion industry in Colombia have a high export recognition, high quality, and high design, of course. We have unique designs as well. And I can also tell you that all this ethnic inspiration, all these handmade and colorful prints make Colombia a unique origin and a great partner when you're talking about exporting garments to the rest of the world. It's a innovative sector. It's pioneering the production of garments with functional characteristics. I think Cara and Adriana could also get deeper in that part of the sector. So thank you so much for helping us talking about the good reasons of Colombia as a partner. We have flexible production. We don't, we adjust our production to what the customer needs. We have a qualified workforce, internationally recognized and specialized, and we have a socially responsible industry, as well as an industry that is integrated in processes. And I would like also to share with you that the lead times, the delivery times, which are very, very important at the moment, mainly when you're developing e-commerce everywhere in the world. We have more than 4,000 maritime routes for exporting. We have less than 3 days by ship from the main ports of the Americas and 12 days from Europe. That's very competitive as well for Colombia. And last but not least, we have preferential access to more than 60 countries with more than 1 billion consumers. If we go ahead with this information, we have some examples. Let me move on, Juan Jose, please. We have many brands that have interest in Colombia. Let's move to the 15th slide, please. And let me share that Colombia, and we were talking about tourism and how we invite these visitors to our landscapes and this adventure that Colombia means around the world. We want to keep working for positioning Colombia as a destination for nature and adventure. We have many options for the travelers at the moment. We have ecological tourism, we have adventure as well, and we have rural tourism, which is related to agriculture and all this food consciousness we're trying to create around tourism. And we would like to also share with you why Colombia is already recognized as a great destination for many countries. I think the diversity is really important. The variety of climates, cultural richness, warm, welcoming people, and we have also unique experiences that you guys can enjoy wearing, of course, the Patagonia garments. The active members of the USTOA, the most important association of tour operators in the United States, already chose Colombia as the #1 destination. And at the 2019 World Travel Awards, Colombia was recognized as a leading destination in South America. About us, I think we can move a little bit further, please, Juan, to the 18th slide, please. Let me tell you that ProColombia is around the world, or as a Colombian exporter. So please count on us. We promote exports, investment, and tourism. And we are also working really hard, the 19th slide, please, to invite you and to make part of this Colombian Outdoor Sports Business Matchmaking Forum 2020. We're going to be ready to, making this match between Colombian suppliers and international buyers from the 26th to the 29th of October. We'll be there offering footwear, textiles, sports accessories. We'll be there also showing processed fruits, beverages, other food preparations. We also have some cosmetic and care products and some industrial goods as well. And of course, the services industry is also there with publicity and digital marketing, working in this business matchmaking forum, specialized in the outdoor market. So thank you so much. I will end up there with the last slide, please, Juan. And I would like to thank you really for being here, for your interest in this kind of talks, of conversation. It was very, very interesting to us. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Can we, Sarah, are we good to open for these questions that some people have shared with us? I would like to give maybe 1 minute to Adriana. Yes. Someone asked about how COVID is impacting the workflow and the raw materials and workers in Colombian factories. So that would be very interesting to see how Supertex has handled it and how this is happening among the COVID situation.
Well, as soon as yes, COVID, of course, has impacted everyone in their lives. But at the factory level, we were able to set very rapidly all the biosecurity that was necessary to be able to have a normal work environment. We split our factory into shifts so we could have the social distancing that's necessary to prevent from the contact. And our production flow is going totally normal right now. Juliana?
I think she might be frozen.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, we can go to the next one then. I'll take this next one. There's a question on what is the premium Patagonia pays on each item, our fair trade premium, and that is 1.5% on each garment, the freight on board cost. And it is a significant amount of money every year. We're so proud of that, and it is definitely a pot of money that they can do some good out there. Fair Trade USA, our partner, is the one that determines what the percentage is, and it can range from 0.05%, or excuse me, 0.5% up to 2% of the price of the garment that we're paying. And let's see, because I think Julianna is still frozen, so I'll just take over for the questions. The next question I think is for Julianna, so I'll skip over that. Here's another one. It says, I work for Chair as Patagonia. We are a B Corp, a certified company. Awesome, a fellow B Corp. I love that. We are B Corp certified as well. I like to know what other soft goods products are made in Colombia. I am interested, like to know if backpacks, bags, other bags and totes are products being manufactured in Colombia. Yeah, so I'll give that one to Adriana.
Yeah, this is probably also a question for Juliana, and I know her email address will be shared, and I'm sure she can give you a better answer, but I'm certain there are products being manufactured in Colombia. I know totes are being manufactured, and I know, I'm not sure about backpacks myself, but I know bags is a big industry in Colombia. So Juliana will have to give you contacts and all the information, but you can also go through our ProColombia office in your region, and they can give you all the details on this.
Thank you so much, Adriana, for that, and thanks for the question that Roberto made. I had a bit of an issue, but I'm here. I'm back. So everything's great. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for your patience, but that's how technology works today. So this is a safe environment. So let me check if we have any more questions, because I think that was the only one we had. I don't know if there are other questions, maybe, Sarah?
Yeah, I think we've got a good question that came in. Is Supertex running any cotton recycle programs?
Well, not for the moment, but this is something we're working on, and we will soon be able to give you a good answer to that. You know, we're working with a local mill on doing some recycled cotton. So this is a new initiative for us that it's still not running, but it's in the works. So we will soon have it. Okay.
Okay. So I would like to first of all, thank you all for being here and for sharing this amazing information with us. More than 300 people interested in what we're talking about. Sustainability is a very important priority at the moment for internationalization, for export promoting agencies. So let me close this conversation with a very important information for you. We have the invitation. I already talked about it when I was talking about Colombia and why Colombia is a great partner. But let's all make part of this business matchmaking forum of Colombian outdoor sports. As you can see, we're a trustworthy supplier. So we want to see all the international buyers being here at this business matchmaking forum. Please count on us. We have the link there. You can join this business matchmaking forum as an international buyer, or you can work with us as an exporter. As Adriana mentioned, we are in 8 regions around Colombia, so we can make part of your commercial team. And please make part of this round of meetings and let us work together. Let us help you with your international business processes. And I would close with that. And I was really excited being here, learning from Supertex, learning from Patagonia. We have a lot of work to do. We're very lucky to be part of this amazing path you're both building for Colombia, for the international buyers as well, and of course for the users. I think they're a very important part of this, and I think we're very lucky that we can choose from these brands that are very, are conscious of the importance of social responsibility and sustainability. So thank you so much for being here and for having this time, for sharing with us, and more than 300 people listening to you. That's great. Thank you very much. We are very glad at ProColombia working with you, and thank you guys. Sara, thank you so much for helping us, and ProColombia's team around the world. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you all for being part of this panel. And just a reminder to anyone listening is that this session will be available on demand. So you can use the same URL to access it and watch it again if you need. And you can also find it on demand at outdoorretailer.com as well. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
You have a nice day.
You too. Take care.